What's up? Hey, first, I give you this shout out. Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast is here for your listening pleasure. And we are the best team in the league. I don't care what nobody said. We're the number one defense, the number 3 ranked offense. We very well may be the best team in the league. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. We doing that thing. We got the best running back in the league, hands down. I don't think nobody could dispute that at this point. Even though Derrick Henry's a monster, he went up against a monster defense. Them bulls be flying over the field. But Saquon showed why he was worth every bit of money that we paid him and even more. We could have paid Saquon even more and still not overpaid for this dude. He is impressive. He shut the game down when the offense was stagnant. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. He did what he's supposed to do. Jalen still doing what he's supposed to do, protecting the ball, not turning it over, timely passes on first downs to get first downs, ran when he had to ran a couple times.
Let me speak to your manager.
Listen, Jalen is him. I know people want to hate on Jalen and all that kind of stuff like that and all that. And we could, is at times I see things you want to see him do a little better here or there. But Jalen is doing, and I honestly, and I know y'all want to get in, but let me just say this.
Go ahead.
I told y'all a couple weeks ago, maybe over a month ago now, that Jalen has a thing where he starts the game all slow and then he kind of, builds a rhythm. Today, I wanted to see him he kind of built it a little bit something today, but he didn't get as active, as locked in as I normally like to see him play. But I think what it is that early on, remember, he had a lot of turnovers. And I think he's kind of being patient on forcing the ball early till he kind of figures out what the defense is doing, where he could put certain balls and this, that, and the third. And then you start seeing him after this late in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, he really gets it going. And that's been a key recipe because he hasn't turned the ball over much at all. What, he got one turnover in the past, 8 weeks or something like that. Yep. So I think that's kind of Jalen's thing, and that's why we see this kind of apparently slow start a little bit before he get cooking. But what's your thoughts? I mean, a great win. Baltimore got some suspect stats late in the game, a little whack touchdown.
It did.
This game was way further than the score indicated. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to keep it a beam, but I got to start this off right. Eagles! Let's get it right. Now, that being said, Justin Tucker, bro, what happened? Like, I ain't going to hold you. We were the better team today. We played better. But that made a world of difference. He missed like 9 points, like 3 field goals, bro. Like, that's crazy. You know how crazy we would be?
How many it was? It was ended up being 3 field goals?
Was it? I know it was at least 2.
I know it was 2. Was it 3?
Yeah, it was 3.
Wow.
Man, we will be losing our mind in Philadelphia if that happened.
Yeah,
but that being said, there was a lot of.
Before you say that, though, our kicker, he missed 2 free throws. He missed 2. He missed 2 field goals last week. So sometimes you just got to overcome the kicker.
But he's been struggling. He's been struggling all year, though. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. For them to have an 8-4 record, he's been struggling this year. And he's won a lot of games for them in their history, and he's been a great kicker. But this year, he's been struggling. And I'm just thankful that we ain't got that issue. But that being said, got to give Nick Fangio props. And I was thinking about that as I'm watching the defense. Remember how the first couple weeks people was ripping the defense because the defense was giving up a lot of yards, but they was holding teams to field goals a lot. But that being said, like, I wasn't thinking about it affecting the defense as much because we were talking about the offense being slow, like maybe because they wasn't playing as much in the preseason. Maybe that's what happened with the Eagles defense, where Fangio had this system in place and it's something new for them for real, and they got to adjust and they had young boys playing. Whereas though now it seems like everybody know what they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. And I think it was Romo calling the game today, right?
He said 2 field goals and an extra point is what he missed.
Oh, 2 field goals and an extra point. Yeah. So that's a whole touchdown, basically. So, but Romo was making a point where he was saying, like, even on the Eagles defensive players, like even when they come up to make a tackle, if they miss, the way that they position their shoulders and the way they go to make the tackle, they lead the runner or the player into the help. And it does seem like that's something that they purposely do. But I mean, when you figure we lost Slay, we lose OG, Brandon Graham, and you thinking we might struggle, we didn't miss a beat. We were breathing all down their neck. Now, the one thing I will say about the offense, what I think we need to incorporate more of is that screen pass that they run. Like when they fake the handoff to Derrick Henry and then throw the screen pass to him, because they got us a couple times on that. That's something I think we should incorporate. But thank goodness for Saquon. Saquon in the defense. Jalen didn't turn the ball over, which is crucial and important. He did what he needed to do. Even though he had like one great drive, and other than that, his play was meh. But he didn't cost us the game, and he made a couple big runs too that actually kept us alive too. So, but shout out to the defense and Saquon for bringing this game home.
All right, Jalen had a very, very good day. He had a very good day. I know anybody want to say he didn't or his numbers don't say it, but Jalen pretty much opened up everything for Saquon. I'm telling you. But here's the thing. Saquon is the most talented person on our team. Jalen Hurts is the most important person on our team. And there's a difference. When you have Saquon dominating, he can do all those things. But remember, the most yards he ever had was this season. It takes Jalen opening up because there's a fear. There's a fear in that defense. Jalen can run, Saquon can run. Then, of course, they got more fair Saquon, but they always got to look just in case the quarterback. And that's what the quarterback did today. He opened it up. And Saquon,
hold on, let me zoom in on the stats to make sure I'm seeing what you're seeing.
I'm telling you.
He ran 9 times for 29 yards, an average of 3.2 yards a carry, and he threw for 118 yards, 1 touchdown.
And what was his quarterback rating?
I don't know, but he only went 11 for 19. Don't tell me, don't make it like this. And listen, I'm not ripping Jalen, but don't come here capping like Jalen was the most important. Jalen, why we would know. This was an okay game for Jalen, but it was
the Ravens
nothing.
came in with the number 1 ranked defense on as far as
they came in. No. They came in with We came in with the number 1 ranked defense. They came in with the number 1 ranked offense.
But they came in with the number 1 as far as the run, stopping the run. They were dominant, and they was doing it early on. But what happened was Jalen was able to open it up a little bit. He was able to open it up with AJ when we was giving him slants to AJ, getting him open. That loosened things up a little bit.
Let's calm down. I agree with. I'm leaning more
and dog the man when he was.
I'm leaning more toward Wayne. The game was okay. It was okay. It was an okay performance. Baltimore has the worst passing defense in the NFL.
We understand about he has
I let you talk. I didn't interrupt you while you talked. You did your thing. You did.
I don't know. Y'all did.
Baltimore has the worst passing defense in the NFL. This is my only problem with Jalen. Jalen did okay. He made some timely throws when he needed to. He got a first couple passes to A.J. Brown. He got the one that was timely and all that. It was cool. My only thing, and I said this last week, Jalen, if you take away, without Smitty on the field, if you take away A.J. Brown and Goddard, it's almost like he don't know where to go a little bit with the rock.
But why are you taking away stuff?
I'm talking about if the defense takes away those 2 players. He don't really know how to go to the player, and that's why he holds the ball sometimes, and that's why he gets sacked sometimes. Dotson is a very good player who had 50-something catches last year. He probably going to end with 13 catches this year, 1 catch today. My thing is this is why I say I want Jalen to get in that habit of trusting the other receivers more, because if the defense starts keying in on these dudes come playoff time, you're going to see we got to run to Tampa and they start blitzing and that blitz and they just drop somebody in the coverage right over top of A.J. Brown and you terrified of that blitz because you get, I don't want to see Tampa Bay because the blitz going to do this. You should, if your quarterback is elite, you shouldn't be terrified of him.
I'm sorry, what's Jalen's record again this year?
I'm not. This is not.
Okay.
Confused.
Okay. Well, what's the Eagles' record? You mean? But what's Jalen's record without A.J. Brown in there as a receiver? Are you still confused?
I am
because he ain't win nothing without AJ.
No, we would have won that. You were gonna act like that New Orleans game. We wasn't going to win. We were going to win.
Here you go with the horseshoes.
It's the Jalen played. Okay.
You said the New Orleans game.
No. Wait, that was the Atlanta game, right? You talking about when?
No, the Atlanta game. You know the Atlanta game when when AJ did not play.
Oh, well, Saquon dropped it, and then Saquon dropped it. Yeah, and then we only need a field goal and Hurts to an interception. Yeah, that game.
Jalen has been playing well in general. I'm just talking about this game in particular was a okay game. He really had, and I agree with Wayne, one real good quarter. That was the second quarter, 9-minute mark.
That drive was masterful.
Yeah. That drive was masterful. And after that, he had a couple passes here and there, but it wasn't nothing. that really was like, yo, he did this and did that. He had the one run, I think it was in the fourth quarter that we end up scoring on that drive. He had some solid play. Ultimately, Saquon took over at the half. Let's keep it a big. It was Saquon's game at the halftime. He took over, had some incredible runs.
I would say Saquon.
Jalen played well at best. At best, he played well.
You know why Tim's a fraud, though? Because even in the chat, Tim talking about something. We ain't never running Saquon back-to-back runs. Why we not running Saquon? And that's when we were struggling. And then what happens when we start getting the ball in his hands?
It wasn't.
I'm not talking about take away, like out, you take him off the field. I'm talking about if the defense takes him away, I need him to start looking around and making sure you get other players involved. This is all I'm saying. And God forbid somebody get hurt. Remember when AJ Brown, the game we missed AJ Brown and Smitty and Bull Goddard had like 13 catches that game. Like all he saw was Goddard. Like we still had Dotson on the field. Like get these other dudes involved. Like you got to know how to.
Redskins got rid of Dotson. Why you so hype on Dotson? He couldn't even stand his own team. They traded him for nothing.
Huh?
You so hype about Dotson? Like Dotson's this answer.
He been in the NFL. He got 50 catches last year. You can't get. So you tell me he don't get open at all? Like this is what I'm saying. Like stop this acting like these dudes can't get open at all.
Like the fourth or fifth option on this team.
Dotson was the third option in Washington, and we signed him because he was supposed to have been pretty nice. Last I heard, every time when we signed him, everybody, oh, that's a great move. We got the boy Dotson. He gonna be doing this. He gonna be doing that. Dotson got like 10 catches on a year, and 5 of them is screen passes. So I'm not hating on Jalen. He did solid. He played an okay game. It wasn't a masterpiece. I've seen Jalen play a lot better before.
There was a couple plays, like on the one play early on when it was like third down and he threw it through the guy and it went through his hands.
So how you know they're not getting open? So I'm
First of all, we're going to address that Atlanta game where he's saying, "Oh, the end of game interception." It didn't have to be. We only needed a field goal. He didn't have to go for the home run. He could have marched us down the field.
Down in that game.
He could have marched us down the field. All these things, even in the early part of the season, our first game of the season, our defense wasn't giving up touchdowns. They was holding us to field goals. The offense was struggling. But we have had some games where Jalen has balled out. This just wasn't one of them. Jalen has balled out in numerous games this season. But if you're delusional, if you're trying to say Jalen was the reason we won this game. Now, I will say, Jalen running a couple times did open some up because now it's like they had to be aware of him with the running. But they was dropping back and basically daring him to make some passes. I seen where Lamar was making some of them passes where he was making them up there where only the receiver could go up and get it. And then he almost got the ball killed on one of them Jones, but the Jones when Blankenship got knocked out. But other than that, he was putting passes up high where these guys was the only ones that could make that catch. Like, I want to see Jalen making some of those but
listen, bro.
Jalen did his job, though. He did his job. He didn't turn the ball. He did his job.
I tried to warn y'all. When y'all was just like y'all, everybody was hype on Lil Z, Lil Dusty Boy, Jerry McCain, and y'all was trying to say he was better than Maxie and all this stuff like that. And I had to break his game down and told y'all he wasn't. And now the last 3-4 games he been playing like Dookie. I told y'all Maxie was still him, and now Maxie came around.
Don't say y'all because I wasn't saying Lil Dusty was better than Maxie.
I'm just saying the people who it was
those who.
I'm saying y'all because it was more than one.
Who said it?
It's like that. You and Ethan. How about that? Tim and Ethan.
Wrong.
Yeah, no, right. Yo, y'all was trying to hype up the boy saying he was better than Maxie, and I'm trying to tell y'all about what I see with Jalen.
Eli, you making yourself sound real ridiculous. Talking about, no, they don't go for the home run ball all the time. A good quarterback, if you're only down a field goal, you can maneuver the ball downfield and look for shots to take. You don't force a Hail Mary type pass in that position. You work your way down the field. You got time.
I agree with Jay. I agree with X-Man. He said Jalen zeroes on AJ too much. That's all I was saying. To me, I just think he locks in on AJ too much, and when AJ not there, is Goddard. Like he's just locking on too much and not trusting or seeing these other receivers. But I mean, that's my only gripe. I'm not here to hate on Jalen. He did what he's supposed to do to get the win. We got 24 points on the board. I mean, we probably could have got a little bit more. We had a couple. And this is kind of irritating me a little bit too. And maybe this is we got on my nerves. We had too many 3-and-outs this game. We had way too many 3-and-outs. Like we put the Dolphins defense right back on the field, and this is why I gotta give the defense a lot of credit. They was going right back on the field with minimal rest against a offense that got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry on it, and they were still balling like that. I got to give a shout out to Coop too. That hit on Derrick Henry was nice. Coop lined him up. You talking about a rookie? This last year, this boy was in college somewhere chilling, and now this year you in a professional NFL hitting a certified Hall of Famer. Derrick Henry just lined him up. Great play. And Derrick Henry, it ain't like Derrick Henry having a war season. He having a monster year. And Coop, great play, man. He did good. Blankenship struggled a little bit. Quinyon Mitchell is by far, in my opinion, our best cornerback. I know we had some people trying to put Coop ahead of Quinyon. And this is not to hate on Coop, because I just gave Coop his props. He's been playing well. But Quinyon Mitchell may be not just the Eagles' best cornerback, he may be one of the best cornerbacks in the league right now. And that's impressive for a dude who, again, last year was in college. And now he's in the league putting this thing down, man. I'm impressed with the young boy. He's impressive, bro.
Now, overall, I got to say that the defensive line played very, very well as well. I'm looking at Nolan Smith. He played well filling in for BG. He had some big hits. That Zach Bond hit on Derrick Henry in the second quarter. That joint was nasty. I'm just the defense, because we had a lot of 3-and-outs. I didn't like I never enjoyed the first 15 scripted plays that the Eagles run. I don't like them. They don't work. Whatever it is, they just need to trash it. I don't know if it's the head coach involved in them, but I don't like the first 15 plays.
Is it Jalen not executing them properly?
You ain't no Jalen again? I couldn't hear you. I just want to be clear, because a lot of times we try to make it seem like Ethan and Wayne is the hater, but it's really 3.
I like Jalen. I do.
3 haters on this podcast, and I want the people to know it.
I mean, to Ephraim's point that he was making,
of course,
to Ephraim's point, Lamar threw to like 6 different receivers, got receptions from like 6 different receivers. Most of our receptions was going to AJ and Goddard, like you said. One with the Cooper that was a miss, and then 4 went to Saquon. 4 went to Saquon, I think it was Saquon.
Saquon had 2, Goddard had 3, AJ Brown had 5, and Jahan Dotson had that one that come back.
How many passes did he throw?
He threw 19 passes.
19 passes.
But he could have threw more if he'd have got. This is my point. If we didn't have so many 3-and-outs, we would have had more passes. So that's why you are your own worst enemy when you don't get the first down. How about that?
You also got to look at on defense. Their first possession, they held the ball for like 11 minutes. Look at the possession. That was the first possession in the second half.
And we gave it right back to him in a 3-and-out the very next 2 times we got it. Our next 2 possessions was 3-and-out. Do you realize that?
Hold on, Ephraim. How about the fact that our defense was the reason why our defensive special teams had them pinned down, and gave us and stopped them when they was pinned down and gave us great field position. The first time we scored, we had great field position. It wasn't like we marched it down offensively. This was definitely a game that the defense won for us.
The defense played excellent. Nobody taking away from the defense. What I'm saying is that the offense, Jalen and Saquon, were the reason why we won.
I'm telling you, in my opinion, Jalen just don't share the ball enough. That I'm telling you, you're going to run into problems with that when defense start queuing in. They're going to notice this. Because a lot of people listen to this podcast, so some of the defensive coordinators probably listen to this podcast too.
I heard that too. I heard we on that
stuff like that. So when they start locking in, I'm telling you, when they start rolling extra coverage toward the ball, AJ Brown, then we're gonna see what Jalen gonna do. You're gonna need them. Hopefully Smitty back because he trusts Smitty. Hopefully Smitty back and he could do his thing and all that kind of stuff like that. But that's just a little bit it concerns me a little bit. And I'm telling you, some of them times with Jalen, I could promise you without even watching the all 22. I could promise you. Some of them times when Jalen holds the ball long, I can guarantee you A.J. Brown is probably covered up and he looking to where else to go, and then he start panicking and he get out of pocket and run or take a sack. I promise you.
Every quarterback does it. Even Lamar, earlier today, he had like 3 missed reads in the game. He had 2 fumbles that he recovered.
I'm not talking about missed reads. I'm just talking about not even looking to throw to nobody else.
What I'm saying is
that's a problem with me.
Every quarterback does it. It's not. I'm
no,
not
they don't.
Say, okay, Jalen is the only.
I'm not talking about making mistakes. I'm not talking about throwing bad passes. I'm talking about not refusing to throw to almost anybody else. That's what I'm talking about.
You act like AJ is not open when he's throwing. As far as
when he's not open, that's when he only had 5 catches. You act like AJ had 12 catches or something. He only had 5 catches today. That's nothing.
And how many targets?
6.
So if you know the ball is getting to your man, what you searching for somebody else for?
Because you only had 6 catches, we had several 3 and outs. How about you searching somebody else? We probably could have matriculated the ball on the field a couple more times. This is my point. The end result is a win. Yes, I'll take it. But let's not act like we was moving the ball up and down the field like this looked like the year we had T.O. and we was doing all this, that, and the third. No, it ain't. No. Our offense has been decent, and Jalen Hurts been playing well, but our offense has been stifled a lot. Well, all these weapons we got, our offense should be moving a little bit. John said it earlier. He said our play call looks, I think he said stale or stiff or something like that. I think it's the way Jalen quarterbacks the offense. I just don't think he gets the ball to enough dudes to make enough people weapons on the field. You gotta make. It's like a point guard. A point guard ain't there to just you ain't there to just drive down and dump it off to Embiid in the post, or just there to dump it off. You know what I mean, to your big man. Just
I get what I'm saying.
Everybody.
In Jalen's defense, though, like he did try, he threw once to Campbell. It wasn't a connection. He tried to. That was McCovey. That's the one he tried to hit on that third down and it went right through his hands. Right. So I mean, at that point, he might have just been like, "I'm gonna stick with who I know gonna make the catch." But that being said, they gave him ample opportunities to make passes. He would have had more pass attempts, to Ephraim's point, if we would have actually got first downs instead of being 3 and out as much as we was. And we were being 3 and out because we was trying to force the pass. When we finally buckled down, and the same way, and Baltimore did it first. That's like the announcer said, whichever team starts to feature that run, I don't care how great the run defense is. If our strength is our running back and our running game, then you're going to make them stop you. You don't let them dictate what you do. And the Eagles came out, and we see at the end of that game, their defense started to look a little bit more tired. All of a sudden, Saquon was hitting the gaps a little bit, danced a little bit, and then hitting the hole. So we wore them down.
So y'all gonna forget that we got penalized like crazy. We got 6 penalties in the first quarter alone. A lot of times, trying to get you. So y'all looking at the fact that we ain't score a lot, or we was 3 and outs. But you ain't looking at all them penalties that we got in the first half. That caused was the cause of the effect. You're not looking at that.
Well, you do know that. What you do know, one of them penalties wasn't that when it was supposed to be a running play that Jalen was supposed to run, and then he tried to throw it at the end instead of just going down, and it was a legal receiver down, and it was a legal receiver downfield because it was a running play where the offensive linemen were down the field blocking, but because he was being stopped in the backfield, he tried to make a pass, and it was a penalty on him.
Yeah, he probably should have threw that ball. He should have threw that ball as soon as he seen the play.
That was a busted play. He probably should have threw the ball away.
As soon as he seen that ball.
But you can't if it's a run. The linemen knowing it's a run, they're taking off the block. So either you just hurry up, get upfield, and go down, or like as soon as you. But for the most part, you're not going to see it's busted like that when you first got it, because he can make something out of nothing sometimes. But at that point, just go down. Don't try to force the pass.
Hey Eli, I heard what you said. Eli said Lamar did all that, talking about passing around, he still lost. Yeah, you got that. Don't add the fact don't. Let's not forget the fact that they gave up 7 points from missed kicks. Like,
exactly.
Don't act like that ain't happened. That game would have been totally different. We all know that if the boy Tucker was having, and I don't know what happened to him, bro. This is one of the fastest collapses I've seen in a long time from somebody who was considered one of the greatest kickers of all time. And now he kicking all over the place. His confidence seems to be shot. He like Klay Thompson coming back from the injury. He all over the place. But Young, I understand 3 and outs happen in football. I'm talking about, let's be clear about this. We have supposedly assembled the Avengers, some of the greatest offensive players of all time. We got one of the best wide receivers in the league. AJ Brown is, wherever you want to rank him, he's top 5 receiver in the NFL. Saquon, wherever you want to rank him, he's top 2 running back in the NFL. 1, 2, or 3. Even if you want to say on his best day, you might like Christian McCaffrey, whatever, because he's catching all that. Either way, Saquon is 1, 2, or 3 in the NFL. Then you got an offensive line that's built to go. Then you got a tight end who's top 10 in the NFL. Then you got a Smitty, who hasn't been playing the last couple of games, but Smitty, another wide receiver who's top 20 wide receiver in the league. You got so many weapons on this team that you like, yo, I don't want to see continual 3 and outs. I'm not even saying you got to score every drive. I'm talking about continual 3 and outs. I don't think Baltimore might have had 1 3 and out the whole game, and we don't have all the talent, and he don't have all the talent that we got here. So either it's play calling, and you could say some of it's play calling, either it's play calling or it's the lack of Jalen distributing the ball and putting the ball in other places after your first read or maybe your second read to get to somebody else. But we won the game, so I can't be too mad. I'm not going to sit here and girl because we won the game. It was a good
Let everybody talking about how we being negative. We're not.
They are.
Listen, y'all evidently y'all didn't watch from the beginning where we got to this topic because we were talking about how Saquon and the defense won the game, and some people want to be in here. Jalen made it happen. Like let's and we're saying let's be reasonable and really look at it. And Jalen didn't lose the game. Jalen didn't play horrible, but Jalen wasn't the reason we won this game.
We are the number one. Listen,
the number one defense. Yes, we are.
No, we're the number one rushing team.
Number one defense. Yes, we are.
Number one rushing team in the NFL. Why?
Yeah, Saquon.
That's offense. That's Jalen and Saquon.
No. That's Saquon.
Makes us number one in the league.
No. That's Saquon.
We're not this great passing team, but
let me ask you, who's going to be
great? We're doing something great on offense.
What player on our team is the MVP running?
We're doing both of them, but
both for who?
Jalen and Saquon.
Both for who?
Jalen and Saquon.
Jalen is in the MVP runnings?
Yeah. Look, if you look at the top 10, go ahead, look at the top 10. Go to Vegas. Jalen probably around 10. Saquon probably around 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
Is that cap? Is that cap?
I'm not gonna believe that.
Is that cap?
He looking back at that year that we went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City. He looking at some old news.
Andre J said Jalen is a game manager. I'm
Go ahead.
He's a little bit above. I'm not going to say he's a complete game manager because Jalen makes a lot of big plays.
You did say it.
No, we ain't be trying to throw. We ain't trying.
No. I said Jalen does need to play more like Purdy, which he is. But I'm not going to necessarily say that's a game manager because Jalen does make big plays. Jalen does make big plays from time to time, but
Tim do got that Stroley and Trench thinking. He do. He absolutely does. That's all. I was like, listen. They get caught up on something. All I'm trying to do is go game by game and what it looks like. That's all.
But the problem is Tim don't ever blame the quarterback. When we lost, bro, you just heard him sitting there say it was Saquon's fault because he dropped the pass against Atlanta.
Did he drop the pass?
Yeah, and Jalen threw an interception instead of marching down.
First of all, Young, have you missed the last podcast and we talking about Jalen? I was giving Jalen all the credit in the world. We looked at his QBR; it's been through the roof. He's been playing well. I'm talking about this game in particular. Jalen's been playing well overall, but one of the things, as a person who watches Jalen every week meticulously, I'm the dude. I'm the dude who rewind the play.
Young, that's a bar.
And I try to see what I can.
Who's slow to credit Jalen?
Let me cook.
All of y'all.
I'm the dude who watches the play, rewinds it while the game is live. Have my kids yelling at me to go back to the live to watch the last play to see what happened. And I polo it and I send a video to Tim and Wayne and Ethan and all them just because I want to make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And not a lot, but sometimes just to my chagrin, I'm seeing some plays that Jalen is missing to other people other than AJ Brown or Goddard. It's just a little bit annoying sometimes. Some plays that can keep the chain moving, and it happens to everybody. I agree. But when you see it kind of repetitively from a dude that you want to see really take that next level to that, I want to see him get to that the Mahomes level, the level even Lamar playing on. Lamar play as much as you got some people trying to hate on Lamar in the comment. Lamar is playing and having a phenomenal statistic season.
He is.
Phenomenal. What if it wasn't for Tucker missing field goals, their record would probably be right where our record is at. You realize they lost a couple games from missed field goals this year.
So just tell me this. Would you rather have the win or the stats? I'll take the win.
I'm talking about he's been playing so good that they only losing because of field goals. Let our kicker miss a couple field goals and no, you know what to break loose from you and blame it on him. Come on, man. Justin Tucker been playing like trash this year, and that's one of the reasons why they actually don't only got 7 or 8 wins. They would easily have 10 wins this year if they field goal kicker was playing with any type of decent kicking. But
that's why I say, listen. The team is good. Our team can actually win the Super Bowl. I do think that we up there as the top team in the league. I think that we have the balanced offense and defense. But I think that we have to play smart at times. Sometimes we get too much trying to force this passing game with Jalen, and it's not there. When Jalen cooking though. Like if when he hot and he dotting people up like for that stretch in the game this day, he was dotting people up. Hurts a 6th MVP, so you got him over. Yeah, I could name.
You can name a bunch of people, but guess what? His team right now is 10-2.
Saquon's team is.
And he's the quarterback in that squad.
All right, who's your top 5 in the, who would you say, without even looking at the list, who would you say is above Jalen right now?
Saquon.
Who, me?
Anybody, either one of y'all.
I say Saquon, Derrick Henry, Lamar, Josh Allen.
Why Josh Allen? Josh Allen.
Why Josh Allen?
Just like Josh Allen stats. Look at them. They mirror Jalen's.
What's their turnovers?
Jalen only got 5 turnovers this year.
Okay. I would say. I mean,
and what's the touchdowns? What's the touchdown comparison?
What's the wins?
But see,
I would definitely say Saquon, Lamar, Derrick Henry, Jared Goff.
Jared
Goff is bowling this year. What's their record?
Did you say 5 turnovers? So if you do,
you realize they got more. You realize they got
they got one more win than we do.
Okay, but you
were just running wins.
It's all about wins, right? It's all about wins. Jared Goff is balling this year. They didn't know. But who's?
If I'm not mistaken, game manager. Now you want to talk about your quintessential game manager? Here you go.
Who? Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
But they winning though, right? Ain't that what you said? All that matters. Ain't he put up all kind of numbers and points with his team?
Jalen is the reason.
They have one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL, right? If I'm not mistaken, they may have the highest scoring offense in that. Let me check that.
Listen, we'll see I just want to see them in the NFC Championship game, and I'm actually gonna play this clip before we start the podcast of y'all being real Joe and Jared Goff. Then I'm like, and here we go.
Let me check the stats here.
Check them.
Right now, you got 109 quarterback rating.
All right.
Is that higher than Jalen's or no?
He said that's all right.
You got 109 quarterback, got 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 3,000 passing yards.
All right.
I'm just telling you that's what he's been doing. But you told me I'm getting people Jared Goff, even though ain't his joint higher than Jalen, ain't his quarterback rating higher than Jalen so far, right?
I'm glad you're an advocate for everybody, but Jay,
I didn't say it. But I'm just telling you who's higher ranked than him right now. I'm not hate. That's not hate. Why I gotta be hating? Because I'm saying where he ranked.
If it's not the truth, it's hating.
I've been advocating for Jalen all year. All I'm saying is this is who's ranked over him right now. Now, if he's 6, 6 ain't bad. I don't know if I'll put. I know Ethan and Wayne like to put the both Josh Allen ahead of him. I don't know if I'm doing all that, but right now we'll put Jared Goff, Derrick Henry, Lamar, and Saquon above him. That's what I'm definitely. I can't think of nobody else necessarily offhand right now, but I definitely will put them above him right now. Definitely not Patrick Mahomes because he's not playing good at all this year.
Having a terrible season. Yo, Avante, I don't know why Avante Maddox is still getting any type of like clock.
What is
that?
Because people hurt. Slay is out.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I'm like, man, it's brutal watching him. It's like he's always Avante Maddox. Yeah, it's like
that penalty was trash. I know I ain't gonna do that. Y'all be trying to hit. That's what I'm saying. You crack me up. You do all this taping for Jalen and all the little suspect stuff that he do. As soon as you see Avante Maddox, you ain't hear Avante Maddox name all day. What did he do? When did he get cooked beside that one play that shouldn't even been a penalty? That was a trash.
Every time he's out there, they call
you didn't. No, our coverage played well all night long. I'm not even trying to hear. Y'all ain't gonna try to throw my boy Midas under. But
Maddox. I don't even see how you capable for Maddox, to be honest with you.
RJ, you're right. When Mitchell came up, when the boy hit him on that knee, boy, I ain't gonna hold you.
I ain't
gonna hold you.
I saw the instant replay, and I was glad he got his leg up in the air because if he was playing it could have been real ugly. He ain't play after that, Carr. I gotta check that. I don't know. I think
they took him out.
I gotta check that. Because we had a lot of injuries. I'm sure he popped in there a couple times, some plays here or there. But that was a terrible penalty. That penalty was trash. I don't care what nobody played. I don't care. Carlton Hudson said Magic played well the rest of the game. That's what I remember. I don't know. I don't remember not seeing him the rest of that game. I don't know about that. I gotta go back. Y'all gonna make me go back and check the stats. Hey Tim, why don't you post that comment that was made a little bit ago?
I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, Keith Watkins. We was talking about that. We was talking about Ephraim said about Cooper laying that hit out.
Days Beats. He says the fact that Tim don't apply his own logic to all teams. He don't. He don't.
You come on here looking for logic?
First of all, why would I post something that's against me?
Hey, Wayne, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off on that. Yeah, but we did talk about that, Keith. That hit was great. Coop been hooping, man. He been balling, bro. I can't.
Some people want to hate on Coop because he, you know what I'm saying, he ain't got the complexion that you
No,
want
that's
him
not.
to
Don't
have.
nobody on this podcast hit him like that. He's
But why you what? Only hit dog or holler. I ain't even say no names.
I want you to put that
I
out
ain't even
there.
say no names.
I don't want you to put that out there because
I didn't even say you on the pod. I just said some people. I didn't say on the pod or nothing.
If you see me on my, the first thing I said was, I'm just saying, don't put that out there. He's been balling.
Thank you, Go Ray. Exactly. Him and Tim been doing that beat for a long time, and every time somebody try to do it to somebody else, I say, you want to do all this caping up and all this other stuff like that. All I'm doing is analyzing. Y'all, listen, y'all are watch because we analyze and break down what we see. This is all what we do. This is what y'all tune in for, right? All I'm doing is analyzing what I see. He played
the like button
too, game today. Yeah, please hit them likes and get that algorithm popping. But I'm happy with the win.
Shout out to Fangio, man. Fangio got this defense balling, man. I don't think Fangio's getting enough credit as well. I mean, they mentioned him and stuff, but he caught some grief early on. People was talking like, and I ain't saying nobody in particular, so ain't nobody got to holler out right now. But I'm just saying, in general, people was talking about the defense and everything else. Fangio got these boys balling, man. And even when guys are going down, this is actually reminded me of that Super Bowl, the win in the Super Bowl. Remember that year? It's like we stayed getting D-backs was falling down, getting hurt. We stayed getting players getting hurt, and we was plugging other guys in. And like running backs was getting hurt. Then we went out and we got what's his name? Majante. We went out and got other running backs and everything else. We was putting pieces in that was picking up. And it's look like what we're doing this year. Ajayi. Like we're actually doing that this year. Next man up, guys are stepping up. And it's beautiful, especially since it's some of these young boys that's really stepping up. And Josh Sweat hasn't been getting the props that he should have been getting lately. Like they said, he had like 8 sacks in the last 8 games. Then they robbed him out of that one today.
Oh yeah, he had one play though where he kind of cut inside.
He went too far, and Lamar took advantage.
Get around it, but you gotta keep that outside on tuck, bro. You start dipping inside, Lamar gonna get outside and it's over. But all around, like you said, Fangio, he got them boys balling, man. He got the defense locked in. He buying in. Somebody asked the question. They was like, "Why didn't his defense work in Miami?" A lot of his personnel too. You do gotta have a good draft. You gotta have a good. Your draft is everything. We see 2 of our best players just got drafted last year. Your draft is huge when it comes to. Your personnel rather is huge when it comes to your defense playing well. You can have the best schemes and have people flying all over the field and certain blitzes and in certain situations and D linemen dropping back. You can have all that stuff. If you don't have the personnel, it ain't going to work. We got the personnel.
Also, what's important too is your personnel got to be young and eager and willing to take the information that you're giving them. A lot of times he had a lot of veterans in Miami. Mm-hmm. Like right now, a second-year player in Jalen Carter, and then you got the two defensive backs that you drafted. Then you got new players that you bring in like Vaughn and everything that's not part of the culture. So when you put all that together, they just sponges. Once they trying to keep jobs, they want to get playing time. So all that worked in his favor. And right now,
to the point that you was making, look at Vaughn. Wasn't Vaughn like a defensive end or like an edge rusher? And they saw and barely playing as an edge rusher in New Orleans. And they said Fangio said, "Bring him in here. I'm going to move him to the inside." And the man is playing amazing out there. Like it's so. I mean, they just making it right. And shout out to Howie too. You know, we rip Howie when draft picks and stuff don't work, but it's looking like people was kind of ripping him a little bit. With Jalen was looking a little suspect. Jalen Carter was looking a little suspect sometimes last year and stuff like that. But these young boys are showing you like they really was. I'm saying the Eagles have been drafting well.
They have been. I mean, I got to give. He had enough time to figure it out, so I'm gonna give him a little backhanded compliment. But Howie definitely the last couple of drafts he's been putting it together. He's finally just drafting who you're supposed to draft. I think he's following like Mel Kiper. Like he looking at ESPN and be like, "All right, we got the 11. Who we supposed to get?" And you get who you supposed to get because he tried. Remember the Aguilar and the not Aguilar was the Rieger draft. We drafted Rieger and we should have drafted Justin Jefferson. All this dumb stuff. Rieger was projected 4th round pick and all this.
Ortega Whiteside.
Yeah, all them dumb picks that you could have got these dudes if you really wanted them. If they impressed you with their interview or whatever, you could have got them later on. You picked them way too early, and you was costing yourself crucial players, man. So he got enough time to figure it out. Everybody don't get all that time, but he got it. Him and Laurie is attached at the hip, I guess. So he finally started figuring out he's been making good drafts. I cannot hate on that.
Speaking of Nelson Aguilar, shout out to that pass that you decided not to catch.
Several passes.
He looked like vintage Nelson, the one that y'all was hyping up when Carson was making him look good, and y'all say Carson was so trash.
Carson never made anybody look good except for
he made Nelson look good that one year.
Yeah, he did. He had Nelson balling. I ain't going front. Nelson was looking. That's why Nelson got that contract. Fire Jermaine said fire Maury higher. Yeah, he might be. He probably do a better job than Maury right now if he got in the Sixers. But yeah, somebody mentioned the defense and the team in general has chemistry. Chemistry is huge, man. When you got people playing for each other and really liking each other, and you see the little clips of Blankenship and all them, they in there dancing and Coop and all them. Like when you got that type of chemistry, it's a beautiful thing. Like when you bring white people and black people together and just the harmonious atmosphere, it can be beautiful. And that's what's happening right now. The locker room, everybody doing their thing. Even Tim Board, Nick Sirianni is looking like he called a decent game, but he didn't call no extra goofy stuff. Even running it was like 3rd and 7 on last drive. And I don't know if he called it or the offense coordinator called it, but I was personally thinking we probably should have passed the ball. And he ran Saquon. Saquon got like an 8-9 yard run, and that really probably the run that ultimately, was like the knockout blow. And he just called a smart game down at the end, and that's why he won the game.
Even though he just wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that harmony of black and white.
No, but you know what though? To the point, I've made my arguments. I made my arguments over the year about Wentz and stuff. But what Wentz don't have that Jalen have is what Ephraim just said. That whole team thing, like whereas though that unite the team type thing. Wentz wasn't a leader like that. Jalen Hurts is a leader. He's a sure leader. And he might not be that rah-rah, but when he speaks, that's even like before he did that one drive, I saw him sitting on the side, and you can see he's sitting there looking at this stuff and like think about like how I got to check like what they're doing, and then he came out and dissected them. So I definitely got to give him props to that. And they said even Saquon was talking about like with the running back coach, and he was talking about like it's a college type atmosphere. That's like the Eagles organization for better or for worse in the last few years. If you think about how much fun these guys be having. Now I'm saying, remember how many times we would have certain times when like the whole defense is out there doing line dances and stuff like that at the plays, and like this team looks like a fun team, and it looked like they having fun playing football.
It's all because they all come down to one person,
the coach,
Jalen Hurts.
Listen, you can hate on. Listen, you can hate on Nick as much as you want, but Nick,
Nick.
And wait, with Nick and Doug was the same way. They kind of was like that younger type coach where they wasn't about, and Andy used to be the same way. You let the guys have fun. It wasn't everything being a stickler about everything, like being like Bill Belichick, who what your shirt not tucked in. Like these dudes not like that, and these younger players respond to that. They want to have fun playing football.
So right now, Commanders had a. They tore Tennessee. Yeah, they ripped it. They literally did. They kicked Tennessee doors cold-blooded in. They 8-5. We 10-2. The teams we got to worry about right now is really about. Not. We still got to worry about the Commanders. They're in our division. But
their quarterback getting the MVP runnings? He a rookie though. So, Washington.
He definitely probably up there for rookie of the year. That's for sure. Lions 10-1, Vikings 10-2, and Packers is 9-3. That's really.
I think the Denver Broncos quarterback is going to get the MVP now. He
played like he played like trash too many games. He been coming on.
He been coming on late though. They're gonna be looking at late. Like who's been rallying towards.
If they do, that's corny because I remember.
They not because you got too many guys that been balling all season.
Yeah, like remember when Jalen did 2022 season, Jalen balled and then missed the last couple games, and because he missed the last couple games, he got knocked out the run. The same thing happened to Carson Wentz and all that. So if you tell me that dude first 4 or 5 games a year play like trash, and then all of a sudden I had him in my fantasy, so I know Bo Nix was playing like behind. He wasn't representing at all. He been playing well lately, yes, but ain't no way he gonna get it, in my opinion, over a Jared Goff or even a Saquon.
No, not MVP. I'm talking about rookie of the year.
No, he still ain't better than Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels been balling all year.
I'm just saying, as far as leading, I think he's right now. He's in the lead.
What's their record?
I don't know.
Broncos. Their record is 7-5.
And he not getting that over Jalen Daniels. Come on, wasn't nobody expecting Jalen Daniels to have the Commanders even nowhere near where they at right now.
Like right now they 1-2. I'm looking at it now.
Hold on. Bishop Call missed a couple games. Bo Nix missed a couple games too, if I'm mistaken, didn't he? I gotta check his stats.
Hey, Keith, we talked about Nolan. The whole defense, like you could go all up and down this Eagles defense. They got young talent. They got young talent on this team, man. And these young boys, the linebacker. Remember, and you know what? This was something we had talked about earlier, and I made this observation. I think we're getting back to the era where you're seeing more feature backs now. And I think the reason why we're seeing that more because we went through that era when nobody really respected the linebacker position and everybody was worried about drafting these going deep on the draft on cornerbacks and all these guys and like undersized linebackers. You seeing more teams now starting to bring the linebacker position. Well, the Eagles bringing the linebacker position back. We got a couple linebackers out there hitting, and that's why, for the most part, we can get in there and I'm saying and stop them runs. You got big D tackles. You can have big D tackles and edge rushers, but if you don't got linebackers are who stops the run. And for years, everybody got away from. They were saying you don't have a feature back, run by committee, all this other stuff. But we seeing more guys come back and run a feature back, and they're being productive. Because a lot of teams don't have that strength at linebacker now.
They put Bo Nix on the season. First game of the year, he was 47 quarterback rating. Second game, 55. Next game, 85. Next game, 67. So that was 4 straight games he was playing pretty much meh. Then he started kind of getting together 117, then 84, 79, 124, then the 65, 115, 145, and last week, 94 quarterback rate. For the year, he's at 89, 89.9, 90 quarterback rate.
Compared to Jalen Daniels. Peaches.
I want Jalen Daniels to win it. What I'm saying is Bo Nix is coming on, and he's right now, they're 1-2 as far as rookie of the year rankings.
He's not going past Jalen Daniels right now.
Well, if they keep winning, Jalen Daniels should have it wrapped up. But if they lose some more games,
Jaden Daniels on a year has 100 quarterback rate, 99.
Come on, man. Come on, Tim.
They're ranked 1-2. They're 1-2 right now.
Jalen Daniels playing better than
somebody got to be
than Jalen Hurts right now.
Jalen. I'm not going to say
Jalen MVP.
Jalen Daniels lowest game quarterback rating wise so far was a game with Pittsburgh, which is 68.5. Other than that, he's been 99. Look, he started the year out 93, 99, 141, 96, 85, 110, 79, 92, 128. Then it was the 68. Then he had 81, 82, and today he had a 114. So, I mean,
he's over Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, I say yeah. No, he's not over Jalen Hurts. He's playing good though, but Jalen Hurts, I think quarterback rating is like a 1-something. It's like a 104. Yeah.
I don't think it is. Not for the season.
It's been climbing. He had a couple.
Jalen Hurts for the season is a 102.3.
Okay, that's counting today.
That's counting today. It was a 93 today. 102.
It was just 93.
That's what's up.
So Jalen been balling, but we'll see. We'll see where the season takes us. We didn't get on to talk about the Sixers' first win. I mean, I don't got too much time about to eat my food, but Sixers did pull off not first win, but their first win in a while. It seems like their first win against Detroit. Baxi played well. Y'all boy McCain, Tim, you and Ethan, who y'all was anointing as the next great superstar for the Sixers. What's going on?
That's not what happened. What happened was very clearly that Ethan was ready to anoint him as the next savior.
And who was pulling the brakes? Who was pulling the coattails?
I know. Somebody said
Wayne is the one who's. Remember, he said that's my guy. Wait. You mean Wayne, the one that said that he should be coming off the bench? No.
That's Wayne, the Wayne you talking about?
Wayne specifically said
Wayne that said that McCain should be coming off the bench. Jared McCain should be coming off the bench. I didn't say Jared McCain should be coming off the bench.
No, what you said.
And I got told I was crazy because of him and Maxey backcourt, and you was getting it on me.
I made it very clear. I said we should trade Jalen McCain so that we can get somebody at 6'4", 6'5" as the backcourt for Tyrese Maxey. That's what I said. I've stuck to it, and I'm sticking to it. I have not changed at all.
Hey, Joe Quinn, it's nothing against Jalen Hurts. Like Ephraim actually likes Jalen Hurts, and so does Tim. I think that he's adequate. I don't think that he's great. I think he's adequate, though. I do think that we can win a Super Bowl with him. I think we can very easily win a Super Bowl with him. And he's shown that he got to a Super Bowl and he made big plays in there. So I mean, Jalen's a good quarterback. I just don't think that he's elite quarterback, in my opinion.
Listen, I think unlike Wayne, I think he has moments of being elite, and I think he can be elite. And this is why
he's definitely had moments. I agree.
This is why I be so hard on him about sometimes what I see. It's certain things I see that if he tweaks it, he can be elite. Like, this is why I be on him so hard about that kind of stuff. Like, listen.
But at what point do you call him an old dog? And at what point do we become an old dog?
If a lot of this stuff ain't fixed by next year, I'm willing to say he's going to be a game manager. Now, I'm willing to acquiesce to that, concede that point. But I can see continual growth in his game. Sometimes it takes a little, longer than it should. But that's why I'm so hard on Jalen that time. But I really do like Jalen a lot. His intangibles and all that can really help you win games. And the way the defense is playing right now.
Oh, he's definitely a playmaker, though. I would never say that he's not. He's made too many big plays to win games. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time with his legs. But occasionally he makes a pass.
See, that's where we go. This is where he started trying to trigger me. Where he started trying to trigger me purposely with stuff like that. But John, you're right. He said Tim be double talking every 5 minutes. He say 5 different things so he can say he said it. That's the truest statement you ever made. I had to agree with that. Listen, about McCain. This is my thing about McCain. I think McCain can return a little bit to where he was at, but I kept it might not have been this podcast, it might have been in our personal conversation where I kept trying to tell Ethan and Tim when they was trying to anoint him over Maxey. I said he hasn't even got for real, he hasn't even got the attention yet. Players ain't even start looking at the game tapes with him in mind. Coaches ain't even start developing schemes like, all right, how can we take this throughout the game? And as soon as they start doing that, you're going to see things start being a little bit more difficult for him. And now he's going to have to adjust. He's going to have to be like, all right, they're trying to do to stop me. Now I got to do this. So they trying to do that. Now I got to do. So we're going to see. Maxey been through all that already, and Maxey still came out hooping and balling. He seen they throw the blitz at him and try to get the ball out of his hands and try to do this, that, and the third. He's seen it all. And he's one of the top young guards in the league and will continue to be such. McCain, now they doing a thing to him. Now he got to figure it out. So we're going to see.
My thing with McCain that I got to see is he seems to be streaky. That's even like in the preseason and stuff when we first got him. Because remember, I kept saying I do like him because he does everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he plays hard. He'll go down there and try to get rebounds. He try to scrap on defense and everything else. I mean, he'll pass the rock. He does all those things, but he's mainly in here that shooting, that scoring ability is what he's in here for. So when he's off like that from outside, he still drop to the basket and score, though. So I'll give him that. But for the most part, we looking at him to be that guy to stretch the floor and shoot like that.
You anointed him.
And some games, and like I said in the preseason, what did I anoint him as?
You anointed him. You came in and was like,
I anointed him as what? What did I anoint him as?
You came in there and you wanted to claim him like that should do.
No, what I said was he wasn't trash like y'all said. And like I said the whole preseason, sometimes you got to get over the zestiness. You got to get over the TikToks and all that other stuff and just look and see if he has a game and can play ball. And he can play ball. He just seemed like he's very streaky.
No, you act like you followed him from his first game.
Ain't nobody do that. Listen, y'all followed his TikToks more than I did. You see how many TikToks he got? I could care less about his TikToks.
They got caught up in my algorithm. That was
ever since he made that proclamation of being rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Humble pie.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. That's why I say. What did Dame tell the boy? Who was that Dame was talking to when he hit that game winner or something? Hit that shot on him. Dame was like, "Yo, stay humble, stay humble."
It was Al Halliburton.
That's what it was. Stay humble, young man. You know what I mean? This league got a way of humbling you, and life got a way of humbling you sometimes. Yep. And that's what McCain at right now. We'll see how he's going to bounce back. I'm still optimistic that he can. I don't see him being the 25, 30-point a game dude that we had early on, but I still can see him being a nice, solid player for the team. Somebody I've talked to compared him kind of like a Van Fleet a little bit. I don't think that's a too far off comparison. Van Fleet, not the really overly athletic dudes,
Right.
shorter statures, get a shot off, shoot well. I can see that. I could work with that. If you give me
Jay
Van Fleet,
if you go back to the beginning, we talked mainly Eagles on here. Like we was on here talking Eagles for the longest. But I mean, to say that the Sixers, this is my point on the Sixers. First of all, it all hinges on Embiid. Can Embiid play at all this year? Because if he can play, this is my thing: is you let Embiid rest up, get healthy if he can get healthy, and then once he come back and play, you see where you at. Because nobody's other than Cleveland and Boston who getting it on right now. Other than them two on the East, it's nobody that's clearly defining themselves as being that top. Like it's a lot of you got the Nets beating dudes some games, like it's like the Wild West over here in the East. Other than them two teams, so if the Sixers can get in there before it's too long, too late, and you get the starters in there, we're gonna see what happens.
Cleveland won that game, by the way.
Cleveland won.
Won it 115 to 111. Cleveland's 18-3. Boston is 16-4.
Yeah, they the two that's just dominating the East.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks is making a run. They're making a little run too. They're making a little some noise.
But that's what I'm saying. If the Sixers get completely healthy, which that's the big question mark though. But if they do, they can make a run.
More around when you're talking about Embiid.
Yeah, but Jay Quest, you got to come in here early in the game. We gave the Eagles about at least about 40 good, strong 46 minutes.
Definitely did.
So, yeah, we talked about the Eagles for a minute. I was just catching up on the Sixers because we ain't do no pod after the Friday night, Saturday.
You get that button that say start from the beginning. Don't we got the button that say start from the
beginning? Right after you like the video, subscribe. Go back,
Jay Quest. Go back to the beginning.
Way back and watch the hypocrisy. Watch all the hate that Jalen Hurts hate after a win, no turnover.
Jalen Hurts delusional.
I'm just not going. You doing what Ethan did with Lil Z with the Bull McCain. You trying to give him all these extra props. All I'm here to do is to add a little balance to the force and calm you down. You be going too far.
It's not balanced. It's not balanced though.
It is balanced. It is balanced.
All right. Anyway, we're about to be out. We will be back for the Sixers. What's the next game?
Who knows?
That's how bad it is.
It isn't that bad.
No, we've been in this game, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
And they play the Hornets on the 3rd. What's today? The 1st? I guess what's that? Tuesday?
That'll be Tuesday.
The Hornets.
All right, y'all.